But this is the part right here where the heat gets turned up. Obviously, he cannot control his behavior, but the more the bus driver talks, the more he begins to scream. Others start talking to him, the more he begins to scream. So all of the talking is not making this any better. Welcome back to the Djed Institute of Learning, and today we're going to do another tantrum reaction, and today we'll be reacting to the school bus tantrum. School bus behavior is one of the most referred types of behavior problems to our office. It's very difficult because you usually have only a bus driver on the school bus, and you may have one or you may have 30 behavior problems on the school bus. So today we're going to hear or see an example where you just have one behavior problem on the school bus. So pay attention. We're going to figure out what to do in this situation, how to keep it from happening, and what to do the next time it does happen. So stay tuned and let's get right into it. Shh. Time out. Okay. So now, a lot of people might have been taken aback by hearing that. I walked into the principal's office and the first thing she told me was that we're going to put you in the harness. Now, school districts regularly use harnesses for children that have behavior problems on the bus to keep them strapped in. They're not restrained, but there is a type of harness to keep them from moving around, basically, from touching other people or from getting up while the bus is moving, to keep them safe. But a lot of people say that could be dangerous. And in this case, it sounds like they've been having this problem for a while, and now they're talking to this student about it. But it also sounds like he doesn't have a whole lot of behavior training because he's arguing with somebody who has already lost it. And what have we learned? If nothing else here, don't talk too much. So let's see where it goes from here. Okay. What do we call that? A threat. So you want to eat then? Yeah. Then be quiet. Can he follow through with that? If the child does not be quiet, can he keep the child from eating? So, and I know he can, and he probably knows that too, but he's saying this out of desperation to get him to calm down and to be quiet because, once again, the bus drivers don't get a lot of behavior training, so they don't know the ABCs of behavior. They don't understand the functions of behavior, so they do whatever is natural to them or how they were raised as children. So you see, verbal aggression and ridicule is something that a lot of us get to get some act right in us, and that's what's going on here. So let's continue. So you see, didn't help. So he becomes more aggressive. Wow. So we might say, the bus driver is being harsh, he's talking crazy, and I've seen a lot worse bus drivers than him. But once again, he's doing what comes natural. Another thing we can do to help is, why is there never a support person on the bus who can address the problem behavior? As a matter of fact, they shouldn't be even addressing a whole lot of problem behavior at all. What they should be doing is handing out stickers or stars or whatever that they give at their school. I don't know, type of student bucks, or they give type of reward tickets so that they can exchange them for different prizes. Whatever you have, give the ones who are being good, whatever that is, that positive reinforcement, so that it gives motivation to the others to act in that way. Another thing you can do is some type of group contingency. So if everybody gets to their destination without an incident, the whole class gets something, the whole bus gets something. I don't know what that is. You got to be creative. Okay, that's your school, your bus. You guys got to figure that out. And then you can even add another layer on where you have the child has their own individual behavior plan. If they go through the whole bus ride without any incidences. They get what everybody else gets, plus their own individual reward. So you have to be proactive. You have to set up a system. And 9 times out of 10, when I consult on some of these cases, especially on the bus, none of that is there. Let's continue. Ooh. I'm not sure what he means by that. He said he got his dessert, but he wants his backpack. But this is the part right here where the heat gets turned up. Obviously, he cannot control his behavior, but the more the bus driver talks, the more he begins to scream. Others start talking to him, the more he begins to scream. So all of the talking is not making this any better. Reduce the talking, and you might say, well, what should he do? If you was driving the bus, what would you do, Ken? This is what I would do. Ignore it the best I could until I got home. When I got back with my people, we would devise a plan for the next day. It's going to be a party in the bus as soon as everybody gets on. Okay, we're going to make it the funnest situation possible. Okay. After that, they know that it's possible. Then I cut all that off. And you have to now earn it through either that group contingency we talked about where everybody has to act right, or through the individual student where he has to act right, or a layer of both. So in the situation right now, there's nothing you can do. Okay, you can't put your hands on them. There's nobody else there to help you out. So get the bus driver some training, get him an assistant on there that can help pass out the reinforcement, okay, and maybe take some notes if necessary, and get those group contingencies and behavior plans out. Whether it's group or individual, there has to be some type of plan, some type of reinforcement plan. It can't just be, oh, no, you can't ride the bus today because guess what? That's illegal. That's really the only choice you have is to kick them off the bus, and 9 times out of 10, you cannot deny a child transportation to and from school. So start there, but let's continue here. Threats. And let me stop doing that. That's not nice either, because he's doing the best that he can in this situation, but I'm just not a big fan of threats, as you can see. So there you go. You got to see the school bus tantrum. It is it's loud. You know, it's not significantly hard to watch because there's no hitting or slapping and not a lot of cussing. He's just really upset because either he didn't get his backpack or he didn't get his dessert. I'm not sure exactly what the problem was, honestly. Maybe we can start there. What is the problem in the first place? What is he even upset about? That will help us unravel this whole problem. So just a little bit of problem solving usually is all that it takes. I have had a number of cases that I've had to deal with children on the bus where one person can hijack the bus. They can take it over, and it's a bully's paradise because it's just like Con Air. Everybody's on the bus together, and then you can get the worst of the worst to where it turns into Lord of the Flies. Whoever's the most charming or has the most leadership qualities can take it over and can lead a revolt. So you have to control it by being the one who handles and gives out the reinforcement, the good time, and it has to be rare. Okay, it can't just happen every day, but they do have to earn it. So if we just recap it real quick, give the bus driver training. Not that he's going to implement any of it, but he will understand and she will understand things like talking too much will sometimes, more often than not, make the problem worse. Number 2, get an aide or somebody on the bus. I know a lot of school districts fight that. No, we can't have an aide on the bus. We got to pay somebody extra. Guess what? The lawsuits that you're going to pay out from somebody getting hurt, from somebody getting lost, I've seen that happen, somebody getting off on the wrong stop, is much less than it's going to cost to just get a one-on-one instructional aid and just have them pass out reinforcement and, keep everything peaceful on the bus. And then last, use those behavior plans, group contingencies, individual reinforcement plans, layer them on top of each other, and you have a good starting package, okay? So that's not going to solve all your problems, but if you can start there, that's going to solve probably 90% of your problems. Now, if this information has been helpful to you, Make sure you share with somebody else who feels like they may be able to use it. We give further information if you contact our office. You can reach us directly. Make sure you look at our information in the bio. We have our behavior boot camp for parents, but also bus drivers, instructional assistants, teachers, one-on-one aides. They all can use the same exact information. So we'll link to that in the description below. And also, you can just check out our website and look at the many videos that we have here on how to deal with tantrums, how to de-escalate behavior, how to prevent meltdowns. Take a look at it, see what works for you, and make sure that you like, subscribe, and share with somebody else who can use it. So there's one last thing that you can do if you want to keep information like this coming so that you can continue to improve your knowledge base and you can share that knowledge with others, and that is to stay tuned.